This video is for entertainment purposes only and should fall under... you know the drill. Don't you love playing video games that make you feel like a man? Yeah, games like Metal Gear Solid, Doom, Duke Nukem, Devil May Cry, Princess Peach Showtime. Man? Okay, joking aside, how the hell was I going to pass up a video game starring Princess Peach as the main character? Mario is always hogging the spotlight, and Luigi gets a little on the side once in a while, so it's kind of refreshing for a character who spent most of her career kidnapped by an egotistical Koopa King to take centre stage for once. Well, I say that, but Princess Peach Showtime is not the first game starring Peach in the main role, but where Super Princess Peach was more of a traditional Mario platformer in a role reversal, this is the first 3D Peach game, one that doesn't feature Bowser as the villain, and no appearance from the Super Mario Bros. It's only in recent Mario games that Peach is starting to distance herself from the damsel in distress stereotype, for the most part, so it begs the question, can Peach star in her own game without Mario's help? Let's find out. Right off the bat regarding the visuals, with all the sparkles and the primary use of pink, yellow, teal and purple colours, you can tell Princess Peach Showtime is targeted at the female demographic. I mean, it's one thing for a 30-year-old male Nintendo fanatic to play a game with a pwetty princess, but can you really see another guy like, I don't know, Chris Hemsworth or Henry Cavill playing a game like this? I would find that very hard to believe. With that said, I think Princess Peach Showtime does an excellent job of capturing the look and atmosphere of a stage show, down from the cardboard backdrops to proper stage lighting. I like that the secret areas you find throughout the game feel like you've gone backstage. That's a really good attention to detail. One of the big selling points of this game is the many costumes Peach wears depending on which place she enters. It's quite a varied amount and all fit pretty well around the design and theme of each level. By the way, I never noticed, especially with her sword fighter costume, just how big Peach's ass is. So the size of her skirt isn't compensating for something. I don't usually criticise a game for performance issues and things like frame rates because to me it's not that important when playing a game. As long as it runs fine, I don't mind the odd frame drop here and there. But with Princess Peach Showtime, there's one part I just can't sweep under the carpet. Just take a look. Yeah, I'm not joking. This is what you see in the game. I'll make it clear, it's not the loading times themselves that's the problem, it's how choppy the whole screen is when the game is loading. Look, I get when you're playing a game it can drop in performance sometimes, but how the hell can you get the loading screen wrong in this day and age? Whatever the reason is, that's inexcusable. How would you like it if I conducted the rest of the video like this? I bet you're starting to get a headache if you haven't already. Alright, apart from the loading screens, the game's looking pretty good so far, so what about the sound and music? The music's awesome. Seriously, if there's anything Nintendo is good at other than making games, it's making fantastic music. While I did notice a lot of the music plays the same melody over and over again, they're all different renditions to suit the many themes of each level. It's all a lot of fun to listen to, but the ones that stand out to me are the ninja theme, the cowgirl theme, the dashing thief theme,
no problem,
and probably my favourite rendition throughout the whole game, the kung fu theme. Damn, that's epic. One of the things I remember being a big deal before Princess Peach Showtime release was who's going to play the voice of Peach. I think with Charles Martinet standing down as the voice of Mario, fans need reassurance, I guess. But I can reassure you, it's definitely Samantha Kelly playing the voice of Peach, even though throughout the whole game she's barely recognisable.
Thank you very much.
My guess is she's trying to put on a voice to match the role she plays with the ensembles, and that's what performers do, they put on an act with their voice. Although with Mermaid Peach... Okay, I am not convinced that singing voice is coming out of Peach, or Kelly for that matter, and if it is, that's impressive, but it doesn't match the character's build in the slightest. By the way, take a listen to this. Does this sound effect sound familiar to you? Not sure? Well, maybe this will help. You probably can't unhear that now, but that was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that. The story is nothing special, it's pretty standard. Peach reads a flyer advertising the Sparkle Theatre. She goes there with two toads to watch some dazzling plays and doesn't invite Mario. not even to keep her safe. Wow. You'd think the number of times Mario has gone out of his way to save Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom, she would reward him with some quality time with her. Or could it be he was busy chasing a gorilla who sold some toys from his toy company? Anyway, before the show starts, Madame Grapes suddenly appears and steals the show with her Sour Bunch crew. Get it? Bunch of sour grapes? So she blows everyone away, resulting in Peach losing her crown, for some reason, and is trapped inside the theatre with all the other feat characters. So, Peach ends up getting captured again. What a shock, I guess some things never change. I bet you regretted not inviting Mario to Sparkle Theatre now, huh, princess? To be fair, I'm kind of jumping the gun here, as Peach isn't exactly a hostage in this scenario, and instead of waiting for Mario to come and sort things out, she takes the initiative when the Sparkle sprite Stella appears and asks for help to restore the plays. And from here on out, Peach jumps from play to play, taking back control from the Sour Bunch crew. One thing I find confusing about the story is its world building. How is no one in this game aware of who Peach is until the end of the game? I'd understand if she turned up at Sparkle Theatre in one of her more casual costumes from Super Mario Odyssey, but come on, she's in her iconic pink dress, crown included. Surely one of these feats would have seen a picture of what the Mushroom Kingdom's princess looks like. Mario gets a lot of recognition in other games. Occasional NPCs will be like, oh wow, is Mario the real deal? Little details like that go a long way in creating a world where people are familiar with these iconic characters, and it really bugs me that these little details are left out of the narrative. Okay, I'm probably thinking way too much about this. It's a game after all, so what's the gameplay like? Well, it's a ton of fun. Most of the game is a side-scrolling platformer, but instead of moving left to right, you can move anywhere in the level. For the most part. Come to think of it, I haven't come across any bugs or glitches regarding the controls or any visual error. I guess with sparkles being a prominent theme, I guess you could say this is a very polished game. The featured gameplay mechanic is donning different costumes which change the way Peach moves and interacts with each level. Some are combat oriented like Sword Fighter Peach and Kung Fu Peach, while others like Detective Peach take a more puzzle solving approach. There are 10 different transformations which have different playstyles to keep the gameplay engaging. I suppose my favourite ensembles would be as follows. I love the way you can move as Ninja Peach. While the stages are stealth based, being able to wall jump to reach higher places and being able to perform a mid-air dash to get to high places from a distance is really cool. Playing as Dashing Thief Peach felt great zipping through the air with her grappling hook. I'm a sucker for those momentum based jumps. I had a ton of fun playing as Patissiere Peach. While there was a lot of button mashing involved with the baking, trying to decorate cakes was both awkward and enjoyable at the same time. Though why you need to press and hold the A button to move on to the next is a bit weird. I got a bit of amusement using the lasso as Cowgirl Peach. Not only could you pick up barrels and toss them at enemies, but you could also lasso the enemies themselves and throw them off stage. I'm not gonna lie though, I think I enjoyed Figure Skater Peach the most. Timing the jumps and spins perfectly never felt so satisfying. Although not as satisfying seeing Peach slip and slide all over the place. In terms of the difficulty, I have a lot to say. If you were to just play casually and just follow where the game takes you, you'd breeze through the game quite easily, but maybe a bit too easily. For the Detective Peach segments, I wouldn't exactly say it's hard to figure out the puzzles. One puzzle I snuffed out just by one clue, and there was more decisive evidence up ahead. Either I have great intuition, or that was just a case of dumb luck. Another puzzle required you to jump through hoops just to reveal a giant curtain that was hiding this big mural all along, but in my first attempt, I found it pretty quick because I happened to notice I can now inspect the wall when I couldn't before. The game kind of gave it away there, and when you think about it, it wouldn't have been possible to move that huge mural so quickly in such a small amount of time, so hiding it was the more obvious conclusion. Although if it was Lupin the Third stealing the mural, he would have had a plan ready days ago. So anyway, to progress the game, you need to collect a certain amount of Sparkle Gems to open up the boss doors. To beat the game, you need at least 100 Sparkle Gems, and by playing the game casually, I think you'll find the required 100 no problem. However, if you're like me who is obsessed with finding every collectible in the game, and you get that feeling that you have to get it the first time, that's when the difficulty does crank up. Some of the Sparkle Gems are hidden very well, while others require certain conditions for them to appear. If you happen to miss just one, nothing is more anxiety inducing than seeing that lined outline of a Sparkle Gem that happened to avoid your detection. Well, no biggie, I can just go back and look for it, right? What gave you that idea? This is a play after all, the show must go on, there's no going back to the previous scene. In other words, if you want to look for that evasive Sparkle Gem, you have to start from the beginning of the level all over again. Yeah, it's that kind of game. Sometimes you walk into the next scene and just at the corner of your eye, you'll notice there's a secret area you now can't access that may have led you to a sparkle gem. Ugh, gotta do all that again. Other times you can't even go back to the areas that are visible to you because you've activated the scene that progresses the level. Come on, I think there's a sparkle gem down there. Why does opening this prevent me from going down there? It's even more frustrating with the sparkle gems that require you to fulfill certain conditions because A, the game chooses to subtly tell you what to do as opposed to spelling it out, and B, by the time you realise what you need to do, there's no room for error. You need a perfect run for the sparkle gem to appear. So you need to pay attention to all the little details you see on screen. Oh wait, was I supposed to be hitting these seashells? Well, they're lighting up, so I'm guessing they reward a sparkle gem. Son of a sea urchin, starting again! It's at this point when you get deeper into the game and you're familiar with the level progression that a sense of paranoia starts to kick in. Because of the way the levels progress, you can't help but look behind every nook and cranny just to find any object or pathway that may lead to a sparkle gem, or the ribbon ear that gives you a ribbon or dress pattern. Sometimes it pays off and you find a secret area, but in some cases, even if you searched high and low, you start to panic when you move on and eventually run into your first sparkle gem, hoping it's the first one of the level. But no matter how diligent you search the area, there will be occasions where you'll still miss the hidden sparkle gem and you'll be racking your brain wondering where the hell was that sparkle gem. If you need to learn the controls of what you can do with each ensemble, you'll either figure out yourself, or you may have noticed tucked in the bottom right corner some text saying controls. What I find irritating about this is that when you do bring up the controls, it disrupts the game by pausing the gameplay and having Stella tell you what to do. Kinda takes you out of the moment, doesn't it? Especially during an action scene. Why not just display the controls above Peach or near the object where you can perform the action? Or why not like at the beginning of the game where the drop down panels drop from the background and illustrate the controls? Why does the flow of gameplay have to be disrupted like that? Alright, I've probably been poking fun at quite a few things about Princess Peach's second outing. So what are my overall thoughts about Princess Peach Showtime? Well, I have to say it was a lot of fun. While the difficulty was a little low except for a few parts, I came out enjoying this game a lot more than I bargained for. Okay, it's not a masterpiece or anything like that, but Princess Peach Showtime is a very well made game, aside from the loading screens, and I think anyone can pick up and play this despite the visual presentation targeting a specific audience. So if you're worried about losing your masculinity over playing such a flashy, tee-hee, sparkly game, don't be. Everyone should be entitled to play whatever they want without feeling ashamed or embarrassed, because you never know, you might find a game that you might actually quite enjoy a lot. It's nice to see once in a while a Super Mario game that doesn't feature Mario as the main character. Hopefully if this game is successful enough, Nintendo might branch out to other Mario characters getting their own solo game. But for now, Princess Peach Showtime is a good little diversion in the Mario series worth checking out. And if Nintendo ever makes another Princess Peach game, I'll look forward to trying it out.